In June, a U.S. export control order knocked Anthropic's newest model offline everywhere for 19 days. Claude Code did not go anywhere. The tool stayed. The model inside it vanished and came back. Which raises the question this video answers. What exactly is the tool, if not the model? The industry finally has a name for it: the harness. And this spring, between 100-plus source survey, Anthropic's own engineering posts, and one developer who walked away and built a rival with 4 tools, we got something better than a name, a theory of what makes a harness good. Let's build it, layer by layer. The word every AI lab started using this year. Strip any coding agent down to 2 parts. The model thinks. The harness is everything else around it. Adi Osmani put it flattest in April: agent equals model plus harness. If you are not the model, you are the harness. Also in April, a preprint survey spanning more than 100 papers, reports, and industry blogs proposed a formal definition: 6 functions every agent runtime must govern. The proposal: an execution loop, a tool registry, a context manager, a state store, lifecycle hooks, an evaluation interface. Hold that list. This video lives inside it. Why does it matter? The survey documents harness level changes alone, lifting coding benchmarks by up to 10 times. No model change. The core loop. Anthropic describes the heart of every agent it ships in 4 steps: gather context, take action, verify work, repeat. That loop is the whole trick. And it is literally productized. The harness that powers Claude Code became the Claude Agent SDK, the same loop shipped as infrastructure, built on one principle. Give your agents a computer, let them work like humans do. The underrated part is failure. In the survey's taxonomy, the loop owns turn sequencing, termination, and error recovery. A failed command is not a crash. It is a message. Exit code and error text flow back in, and the model adjusts. Claude Code keeps the loop composable, Unix style. Pipe logs into it, chain it in CI. A primitive you build with, not an app you visit. Tools and permissions, the control plane. What can the agent actually do? Whatever the tool registry says. The survey wants typed, validated tool catalogs, with every invocation routed and monitored. Claude Code's reported tool contracts declare an input schema, concurrency safety, and whether a call reads, writes, or destroys. Capability is only half the story. The same reported contracts carry permission rules: what runs freely and what waits for a human. Can versus may. Then hooks, deterministic commands that fire around the agent's actions. Format after every edit. Lint before every commit. Policy enforced by the harness, not remembered by the model. Context, the scarcest resource. Anthropic's engineers state it plainly. Context is a finite resource with diminishing marginal returns. Every token spends a limited attention budget. Overfill the window and quality degrades. They call it context rot. So the harness's job is to find the smallest set of high-signal tokens that still gets the outcome. 3 mechanisms do that spending. Compaction summarizes and restarts. Notes persist memory outside the window. Subagents explore in isolation. A subagent explores in its own context window, then hands back a distilled summary, typically 1,000 to 2,000 tokens. And the newest finding goes further. 4 long-running builds. Anthropic found deliberate context resets, a clean slate, outperformed compaction. Sometimes good context management is throwing context away. 3 bets on the same loop. Late last year, developer Mario Zechner got fed up. Claude Code, he wrote, had turned into a spaceship with 80% of functionality he had no use for. So he built his own, solo. Pi is the minimal bet. For tools, read, write, edit, bash. A system prompt under 1,000 tokens. Everything else is deliberately missing. The rule: if I don't need it, it won't be built. The payoff: total control and eyes on everything that reaches the model. The opposite bet is Hermes, Noose Research's open-source background agent. 140,000 plus GitHub stars in MindStudio's May comparison. Persistent memory that learns you. A scheduler where the keyboard used to be. Even full autonomy ships a leash. Ken Huang's reported architecture caps every run at 90 iterations, budgeted across the whole agent tree. Same loop, 3 bets. Pi bets the human drives. Claude Code bets the human reviews. Hermes bets the human is asleep. The survey's punchline from its 23 systems. The production mature ones implement all 6 proposed components. Strip the harness down, and production quietly grows it back. Harnesses go stale. In March, Anthropic's harness team wrote the most important idea in this field. Every component in a harness encodes an assumption about what the model can't do on its own. Worth stress testing, they wrote, both because they may be incorrect and because they can quickly go stale as models improve. Read the stack that way. Progress files assume the model forgets. Permission gates assume it cannot yet be trusted. Compaction assumes the window is too small. Anthropic's product guidance says the quiet part out loud. Strip your agent harness down. Ask what you can stop doing. The company shipping the biggest harness agrees with the man who quit it. Which brings us back to Fable 5. Launched June 9th, gone June 12th. Back in the same harness July 1st. Every harness assumption written before that model existed went up for review, twice in a month. The stress test, running live. So what makes a harness good? A loop that treats failure as information. Tools that are typed and gated. Context spent like money. And the humility to delete parts of itself as the model outgrows them. So the map. A harness is 6 jobs. Loop, tools, context, state, hooks, evals. Pi strips them down. Claude Code ships them all. Hermes runs them unattended. Whichever you pick, stress test its assumptions every time the model underneath improves. Every claim in this video is sourced in the description. The survey, Anthropic's engineering posts, Zechner's write-up. Follow InferenceWire for what the AI headlines actually mean.